Link TV, connecting you to the world. Link TV is viewer supported. Watch more at linktv.org.
Moving on to Oman, thousands of protesters there have taken to the streets of the southern port of Salalah after Friday prayers to demand reforms in the Arab-Persian Gulf state. The protesters demanded better wages and jobs, saying the promised reforms are not enough. They also voiced their fury over Muscat's failure to sack corrupt ministers. Over the past 2 months, Sultan Qaboos bin Said has promised reforms in a bid to quell the protests. Last week, he promised a $2.6 billion spending package and pardoned 234 people arrested during anti-government protests. He has also agreed to cede some legislative powers to a partially elected council. In this segment, we're going to take a look at Saudi Arabia and the developments that are coming there. Well, this has been somewhat of a repeat of what has been going on, and that's in the eastern part of Saudi Arabia. However, again, there has been hundreds who have protested in Qatif in solidarity, not only in terms of some of the demands that they're making, but in solidarity with Bahrain. Keep in mind that these protests are being held despite a state ban of gatherings. Also, another gathering in the town of Awamiya has been cited. And the interesting thing about this gathering is that the people there have defied a call by some of the leading clerics in Saudi Arabia for them not to come out, but that they have defied that call and still have come out. In another development, the Imam of Friday prayers has condemned the burning of mosques in Bahrain. Again, I'm sure you're well aware at this point that there are Saudi troops inside Bahrain also. And to give you an idea of why this has brought outrage and also had the Imam of Friday prayers to come out with this condemnation, 43 mosques and mourning halls have been burnt by Bahraini and Saudi forces since mid-February. Now, in terms of some of the details behind the demonstrations, they, as I mentioned, have been protesting against the destruction of mosques in Bahrain. This, of course, is the Bahraini security forces along with the Saudi backups in Bahrain. Some of the other demands that are being made by protesters in Qatif is that they are calling for the release of prisoners who are held without trial, and also they are calling for an end to human rights violation. Okay, you're seeing there the latest pictures that have come through from the oil-rich city of Qatif, which is in the east of Saudi Arabia, and people have come out despite the state ban that has been held for quite some time in Saudi Arabia. Again, keeping in mind that this monarchy has not seen these type of protests in a very long time, to say the least. As I was explaining, they are siding with the people in Bahrain. What has happened in Bahrain, of course, is culminated into condemnation by many of the protesters there, along with the Imam of Friday prayers, and that has to do with the burning of mosques in Bahrain, of which 43, as I mentioned, have been burned, along with mourning halls since mid-February. In terms of what the significance of this is, Saudi Arabia itself is looked at whether they are going to adhere to some of the requests, which along with the condemnations have been towards some type of political reforms in the country. And under scrutiny is the actions by Saudi Arabia. Just recently, in the past week, Saudi Arabia, a member of the group of 20, which also has acceded to the Arab Charter for Human Rights, which guarantees freedom of expression, yet has not signed the International Convention on Civil and Political Rights.
This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only U.S. network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs which connect you to the world.